Touched down in Dallas, Matt Duchene signs a contract extension with the Dallas Stars for 4 years, $4.5 million AAV. Matt Duchene is staying in Dallas, Texas to play Texas hockey. This is Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. Zang responsibly with America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. Zing Zang. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Boy, it's always good to sign the leading scorer for your team through another contract, and that is exactly what happened hours ago at the time we were recording. Really feel really good about Matt Duchene. Really good player. He's playing his best hockey right now, and I fully think that's going to be the norm for him.
Yeah, this morning was a little rough for me. I had to go drop the wife off at the airport, early flight. On the way back, dropped the dog off at the vet. She ended up scratching her cornea. So dealing with that, we got eye drops. We got a cone on the dog, and I'm sitting there. I was like, man, today's not great. You know, it's not off to a hot start. It's like 10 a.m. It's like this could be better. You know, it could be better. Matt Duchene re-signing with the Dallas Stars. There are a lot of Dallas Stars fans that are really appreciative of this and really excited about this. There's other Dallas Stars fans that are like, okay, sure, we can bring back Duchene, but how much did we give him? And let's look at this, boys. Let's look at this. Let me pull up this tweet from old Robert. Some 2025, 2026 cap hits across the NHL. Jason Dickinson, $4.25 million. Nick Foligno, $4.5 million. Victor Arvidsson, $4 million. Trocheck, $5.6 million. Dylan Strome, $5 million. Which players in that list are you choosing over Matt Duchene to have at that cap hit? Zero. You're not taking any of them. So getting him at 4.5 and getting him contract security with years was the biggest thing. We saw that at exit interviews. He's like, I would love to come back, but I have to look at my family. Kids going into first grade, need to have some stability. I need to have some years on a contract. He just did 2 years where it was a 1-by-3 year deal. He did that twice with the Dallas Stars. He still has buyout money from Nashville, but Matt Duchene staying in Dallas, 82 points last season, point per game player. I know the playoffs were tough. Everyone was hurt, by the way. I know Matt Duchene wasn't on the list of injuries, but I saw it. I saw it in the locker room before Game 5 against Edmonton. Like, those boys were beat up, and it's hard to – I know Sam Reinhart just scored four goals in the clinching game of the Stanley Cup Finals on a sprained MCL, but it's hard to do that. It's really fucking hard to do that. So if you're beat up, it's not an excuse, but it's an excuse for me. Like, I'll take that, and getting Matt back at 4.5 and having a leader in the locker room, a fan favorite as well. Everybody loves Matt Duchene. He's made to play Texas hockey. He's made to play in Nashville or Dallas, and he's played at both now. And I think he's going to be a really good fan favorite for the next 4 years in Dallas. $4.5 million per year. Good for him.
Yeah, man, how fitting. So Morgan Wallen is in Houston this weekend playing, and literally a day before he hits the stage. I actually saw him doing rehearsal last night in the stadium. But how perfect. I'll never forget your conversations with him. Said, hey, I don't have a hockey question, but the Morgan Wallen album. Oh, dude, I'm so glad you asked. Yeah, just no bangers. no bangers. That's the content we all need. And yeah, so the people that are like upset with this contract, it's like, man, I actually think it's kind of light. Like, if he hit the market like he could have, I think he could have got more. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. I think he could have got more.
Look, Brad Marchand, his market right now is looking like 4 or 5 years, and he's 2-3 years older. He's 3 years older than Matt Duchene. I think he's 37. Brad Marchand. He just won a cup with the Panthers, key player in that Stanley Cup Finals and throughout the playoffs in general, but could have won the Conn Smythe. I know Bennett ended up winning it, and deservingly so. He scored every fucking goal on every road game. It was insane. But Marchand had some of the craziest goals, the best goals in the Stanley Cup Finals alone. Helped them win a cup. And now his market is looking upwards of $8 million on the open market for 3-4 years at a 37-year-old mark. Matt Duchene is 34 right now, 35. I think he's 34. He's going to turn 38 at the end of this contract. And look, I mean, he's going to be a year older than what Brad Marchand just was in the finals. And they're different players. They're different types of players, but same concept. Like, Marchand plays the wing. Matt Duchene can play the wing, but he plays center. So he gives you that. He's on the power play. He's on power play 1. He can put him on power play 2. He scores a lot of goals. He had over 30 in his age 34 season. He had 82 points. Was probably your most consistent player throughout the entire season. Like 82 games with a point per game is basically saying like, hey, we're going to need one or two more from you boys, but I'll go get us one, whether it's a goal or if it's a pass off my stick. Like I'm going to have you a point. There's going to be a goal on the board tonight. I need you to go get one or two more because we got Jake Ottinger or Casey DeSmith in net. We're good. If we get 2 goals, we're probably winning the game. So Matt Duchene coming back, and even if it's only 75 or 70 points next year, like that's a hell of a player for $4.5 million, especially with the cap going up as much as it is over the next 3-4 years. You got to look at it that way because we looked at cap space before this. It's grim for next year. There's $455,000 left in cap space. I think league minimum is like $780,000, and that's like entry level type of deal. Like I don't think vet min gets down there, vet minimum, and you physically cannot sign a player right now, and you need basically an entire fourth line and a sixth defenseman, seventh defenseman. So it looks gross. It looks gross like that. But the next year, you got $30.7 million in cap space. And you got to take care of Robo and Harley. But you do that, you're probably ending up with around $20 million in cap space or $10 million in cap space after that. And you're really only losing Mush and Dumba on that contract year, and maybe Jamie Benn if Jamie Benn's not under contract by then. Like, that's a lot of money to play with while keeping this core together and extending Robo and Harley and keeping Matt Duchene. And you have Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnson and Rupe Hintz and Miro Heiskanen and Jay Ottinger and Esa Lindell. You have all of these dudes already taken care of. Everybody's got their big money contracts. Matt Duchene gets a little bit more. I think he still has buyout money from Nashville. So on an AAV basis for the next 4 years, he's going to be making around $7.5 million per year combined with his Nashville money. Only 4.5 of that is in Dallas. So I think it was a little bit more than I was expecting. I thought it was going to come in at 4, but 4.5, you take that. It's under 5 all day long. You take that.
Yeah. And like people, let's not forget, I think it was our first episode where we're like kind of looking at the Four Nations rosters, and many media pundits were saying like Matt Duchene's name could have been called for Team Canada. And that's how good he was at that time. And the best contract in hockey is still an argument to be made for Matt Duchene, even after this signing. And good GM moves help you make good GM moves. And getting Wyatt Johnston's contract back then really opened up the spot for Duchene to get the money that he's getting right now. And like I'm pretty sure we have we have no cap space. Like, let's not say we have the lowest amount. We have no cap space. But if there was a GM that could figure out this science equation, and you get past this year, dude, this offseason is going to set up the next 3-4 years for the Dallas Stars because you've gotten your top 6 very secure. And, we still don't have a coach yet, but man, if Jim Nill does his thing, there's not much more work you got to put in. It's just the boys got to go out there and win that cup because damn, this Dallas Stars roster is good.
As we stand here today on June 19th, 12:36 p.m., the Dallas Stars have $455,000 in cap space, and they need to fill Jamie Benn and then another forward and another defenseman.
Yeah.
Essentially. So you have no cap space to do that. The only way to do that would be getting off of contracts through trades or buyouts. If you buy out Ilya Lyubushkin, you save about a total of like $3.8 million over the next 2 years. If you buy out Matt Dumba, I think you only get like 1.2, but then you add cap space the next year. And then if you buy out Mush, I think you're gaining about $3.5 million in cap space this year, and you're putting on another 1.5 the next year. So those are your buyout scenarios. It's not great. You could do it, and then you're adding cap space next year where you have $30+ million. So you're able to still take care of Harley and Robo and then still kind of fill some spots. You still have Sagan under contract for another year. Then you re-sign Jamie Benn to another 1-year deal, or what if he decides to retire, then you got that cap space back. And you can kind of play around with the buyout market, or you could go through a trade market. So it's those 3 guys. It's Matt Dumba, it's Ilya Lyubushkin, and Mason Marchment. Mason Marchment makes 4.5. Ilya Lyubushkin was 3.75 or 3.5, and Matt Dumba was 3.75, I believe. So Matt Dumba and Mush are 2 expiring deals. Those are the ones that I would look at as a Stars fan. Those are the most realistic to move, I think. You would rather keep Lyubushkin than Dumba. Lyubushkin played in the playoffs and played most of the regular season, like if not all of it, I believe. And a little bit more trustworthy in that system that was Pete DeBoer's system, but now it's a new system, so you don't know what the new coach wants necessarily. You're probably going to have to find a coach that knows what to work with this roster, because it's kind of what you're not really able to do anything. And then Mason Marchment making 4.5 on an expiring deal, who could look really good on another team. Like if he went to Toronto or somewhere else, like making 4.5, he could play left wing on your second, third line. He's a good goal scorer, not a great goal scorer. He's a kind of a pest. He's a bully. Like he can do all of the things that you want him to do on another team if they're looking to add that. And I know the Stars need that, and Pete DeBoer just didn't really use that in that system. Like Mush is a pest and a bully in all the sense in the world, but he was never unleashed in Dallas so far. And maybe this next coach does use him, but if you can get 4.5 opened up, then you're looking at Jamie Benn, Maverick Bourque, Nils Lundqvist, Alexander Petrovich, and all of those can be done with just that $4.5 million. And you probably still have another $500K left over from just doing those 4 guys, and you're just riding that team out, essentially. Yeah. And it's still basically the same team. You're just losing Mush, and you're going to call up Blumel, or if Hemming's ready, you can call him up. You can call Ritskovian. I mean, you got options in the AHL. Or you can move Maverick Bourque up to that second line. There's a lot of options that you can kind of mess around with those lines. If you don't do anything, then you don't even have enough players for the team next year on the roster. So there will be a move. There will be at least one trade that frees up cap space to sign Jamie Benn, to sign Maverick Bourque, to sign Nils Lundqvist, whoever it is. That's going to come. We just don't. I have no idea. I've been asking around. I got nothing so far. But we don't even have a coach. So I don't think any of that's happening until we have a coach.
Yeah, it's when there's absolute silence in Dallas. That's when you know that's the most work getting done. Blumel, man, I remember him in that little stint he had up with Dallas. I've heard the people that do watch the Texas Stars, they rave about him. And he did look pretty good when he came up for that cup of coffee. So that's a name.
The most goals in AHL this season, I believe, in the league.
Yeah, so that is a nice little piece to have in your pocket for next season.
However, he's RFA, and you got to sign him to a contract, whether that's AHL or NHL, and he can go see his options now because I think he's unrestricted. He's 25, so you kind of run into that problem, or he's RFA. I can't remember, but you got options.
Yeah, you definitely have options. Just Dallas Stars fans are in a tough spot right now because moves are coming. You just don't know which ones. And it seems like these robo rumors have really lost steam around the league, as I kind of expected. The draft is where we'll see a lot of shakeup, or maybe like the week prior. But yeah, no. If I had this road of taking Matt Duchene and that 4.5, or another road, because listen, the rest of the options at center for these other teams in the free agent market are awful. So, someone's going to get overpaid, and Matt Duchene, I think, got underpaid.
He's getting 6.5. He might be getting 7 from a team on the open market. We got him for 4.5. All day long, you're taking that. You underpaid him for 2 straight seasons where he's getting 80 plus points, $3 million a pop. 4.5 for the next 4, and you're able to buy him out in 2 years at a relatively low cap hit for the next 4 years after that. Like, if things do go south, that is a very easy option to have, or it is hey, here's a pick, and Matt Duchene, we just freed up $4.5 million of cap space. But looking at Spot Track or wherever, Puckpedia, I mean, we're fine. We're completely fine. It's like we're completely fine. Because this season we got $455,000 in cap space. Next year you get 30.7. The year after that it's 58.2. So if a buyout has to happen, you have that ability. If
Yeah.
you need to trade people this year, which you're going to, I don't know who it is yet. It is going to be one of those three players, I would assume, because you got 2 UFAs at the end of the year, expiring contracts, and then Labushkin has one more year tacked on top of it, and he's been a very good NHL player for a few teams now. He's been pretty good. It's a possibility that they come in, they trade one of those guys or 2 of those guys. They free up $7 million of cap space plus, and then you're able to sign Ben, Bork, Lundqvist, Petrovic. You can kind of just bring back everybody if you wanted to and just run it back for next year, which I know Stars fans may not like, but this was one of the 4 best teams in the NHL this year. They're one step away from making those Stanley Cup finals for 3 straight seasons. And you got a new coach. You got a new coach system coming in. Maybe that helps. Maybe that's the jump. Maybe that's the jolt that they needed to get to the Stanley Cup finals to maybe win it. There's a possibility that all of these things happen. This team's going to be very, very good next year. They're probably going to win 50-plus wins. They're going to be competing for a President's Trophy no matter what they do, what trade it is. They're going to be in those conversations. They got Mikko fucking Rantanen for the next 8 years. Jake Ottinger, Rupe Hintz, Wyatt Johnston, Miro Haskins going to come back healthy. Tyler Seguin's going to come back healthy. Like, you have so many dudes on this team, and then you just kept Matt Duchene. That's huge.
Yeah, no. And like, if you're worried about this contract, year 3, year 4, think about how good Wyatt Johnston's going to be when he's 24, 25 years of age. Think about how awesome it's going to see next season to see him Rantanen for a full season in a Dallas Stars sweater. Like, we're asking Duchene to not put up the production he's been putting, but if he does, like, man, that's scary. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I think you're moving Wyatt Johnson up to the first or second line this year. So he's either, Matt Duchene's either going to play with Rupe Hintz or Wyatt Johnson on the center line, and Matt Duchene just moves to a wing. What are we complaining about? Sincerely, what are we complaining about?
And on the
There's nothing to complain about.
On the human side of things, like, I couldn't be more happier for a guy than Matt Duchene. Absolutely deserves this. If you watch his Chicklets interview, he has gone through a lot in his playing career, and family is really big with him. And for his kids, and I think he's going to be in Dallas far past his playing career. So really good guy in the community, and you always want guys like him in your locker room.
Yeah, I think he's stepped up really big in the locker room over the last 2 years. I think the first year he's kind of feeling it out. He's still going through the grieving process of having to leave Nashville. That's where he thought he was going to end his career. He signed this big money deal. He thought he was going to be there forever. He loved Nashville, country music scene, all the things that Matt Duchene loves. When he gets bought out there, Dallas is one of the first teams that calls, and he's like, that seems like a perfect fit. Let's figure it out. He goes. I think he has a really good season, and in the playoffs, that grieving process really kind of started, and all those feelings kind of came up from the Nashville situation, and is what he said in the Chicklets interview. And he struggled a bit, but he had that game winner against Colorado, sent to in double overtime, game 6, series winner. Huge win for him to beat Colorado, because I know the fans really don't like Matt Duchene or Mikko Rantanen now in Colorado, but you have all those things. And then this year, all of that grieving process, he's worked through all of it, and all of a sudden he's a point per game player at 34, 33 years old the whole season, and one of the leaders on the team. He got assistant captain. He's wearing an A on the sweater a lot of the home games with Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn, and he's wearing a letter, dude. That means something in that locker room. Like, you don't just get a letter for getting a letter. Like, Jamie Benn, if he felt like he wasn't going to be the best captain, he would tell the coaching staff, the team, the Jim Nill, to like, hey, I'm not your guy anymore. You got to put somebody else in the sweater. You got to put the C on somebody else. That hadn't happened yet, and the locker room doesn't want that. But for Matt Duchene to get that with Tyler Seguin and Miro Haskinen and Esa Lindell, Rupe Hintz, and now Wyatt Johnson's in the mix with the assistant captain, like, got all these dudes in the locker room that are leaders. And now you just added Mikko Rantanen into that mix, and then you get to keep Matt Duchene. That locker room's in a really good spot. They're never too high. They're never too low. They love each other. They like to hang out with each other. Everybody's got their own clique, and everybody's got their own group within that locker room, because you got a lot of different ages. You got the young guys like Wyatt, Leon, Thomas Harley. Then you got the Finns, obviously, walking around the locker room, and then got the older group with Duchene, Seguin, Ben. Like, you got a good mix of everything in that locker room. So there's a lot of experience, and there's a lot of different perspectives in that locker room. And I think Matt Duchene's is one of the more important ones, because he's been through different scenarios in the NHL. He's been on really bad teams. He's been the big money guy on a team in Nashville and performed really well for one season. I think he got hurt the next year before he got bought out by Nashville, but he's an important piece in that locker room. And to have him and to keep him where he can help the younger guys, he can help the older guys, he can do everything. And he scores a lot of fucking points, and he's only making $4.5 million. And I'm just really excited for Matt Duchene because hockey players, they don't give the best interviews ever. Like, none of them do, almost. Like Jamie Benn talking to him in the locker room post game. Not a great experience because you can't hear him, one, and two, he doesn't have a lot to say. Because that's just not his job. His job is to lead the boys in the locker room, not to give the media a quote. Matt Duchene, he'll give you 400 quotes in one sentence or one paragraph or one essay and for one question. He will give you all of that. And then before game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, I'm like, hey, not a hockey question, but what do you think about the Morgan Wallen album? He's like, dude, it's good, but no bangers. Where's the banger? And I'm like, and then we talked for 5 minutes about country music before game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Like, he's just a good dude. He makes sure that the media is taken care of. He makes sure the boys in the locker room are taken care of. And then he goes and takes care of business on the ice, scoring 82 points in a regular season. He does it all, man. He just does it all.
Yeah, and I know everybody's kind of like, you want, like, Marchand's going to get this contract based off his postseason success, and very much deserved. But what some fans forget is you also do need those regular season guys too. Like, you can't get through the West without those 60, 70-point guys. And Matt Duchene's a point per game guy. Like, we always say that they don't fall off trees. Like, you find one, you keep him. And the Dallas Stars just kept another point per game guy.
I'll compare it to Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett on the open market is going to get $8 to $9, maybe $10 million if he leaves Florida. I don't think he's leaving Florida, by the way. But if he went to another team, say Vegas or Toronto or wherever it is, they signed him to $8-9 million, and he's got 8 points in 23 games. You think fans are going to be really pissed off that you gave that guy $8 to $10 million on the open market for those regular season results? Regular season does matter. You need point production from players, a lot of players, to win a lot of games in the NHL. It's very hard. There's 82 games. It's not an easy thing to go score 20 goals in the NHL in the regular season. Matt Duchene just did it at 33, 34 years old, and he scored, 31 goals? Yep. You got to have regular season players to get to the playoffs, and then you need playoff players to step up. And I think we have a good mix of both. And if those regular season players can turn it into playoff players, then all of a sudden you're just merry-go-lucky. You're going to win that cup. You're going to bring it home to Dallas. We're going to be going down Main Street in Dallas, downtown, Nowitzki Way. We're going to have a ton of fun on Victory Ave. All of those things can happen. They just need a little bit more playoff success. Maybe the new coach helps that out. But Matt Duchene, staying in Dallas for 4 years, $4.5 million AAV. Huge get for Dallas. Now the summer begins. Begins.
Yeah, and it's going to be one sweaty month, just like a Houston summer, figuring out what's going to happen, because we all know moves are going to be made, and you don't know which ones.
It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be fun, and we're going to be here to cover it all on Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast. Shout out to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Hit the ready-to-drink cans, put them in the fridge, put them in the cooler, take them wherever you're going. Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Zang responsibly. Dom, thank you for joining me. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on Apollo HOU's YouTube or wherever you get Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast, on your podcast networks like Apple, Spotify, etc. Hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. We're almost to 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. It'd be huge if you just hit that little button. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't even have to turn the notification bell. It's fine. No notifications, no subscription. Just hit that subscribe button, and it doesn't even go anywhere. You don't have to see it. But just hit that button, get us to 15,000. It'll be huge. Getting it this summer. Matt Duchene staying in Dallas for 4 years at 4.5 AAV. Huge get. Now the summer begins for the Dallas Stars to figure out the rest of the cap space, the mess that is left for this summer for Jim Nill to figure it out. But it's going to get done. We'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.